Welcome back to the Publishing Push channel, and today we have a little guest here. Hello! Who's trying to nibble my ears. Luna, she says, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video. I don't think I can get her stay early like that. Oh yeah. She's about to tear around the office now, chewing everything she can. If any authors are watching this, don't worry, your manuscripts are safe. In today's video, we're going to talk about printing money. So yes, we're going to talk about the 10 of the richest book deals of all time. A lot of the other videos have been fairly serious, so we thought we'd do something a bit more fun today, and it's also fun to dream. Who knows, maybe one day you'll be on this list. Here's hoping. We'll dive straight into it. We're going to go through these deals. Of course, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way all the way up to number one, which will be the biggest, the richest book deal. Coming in at number 10 is of course an author that you probably didn't expect to see so soon on this list, and that's J.K. Rowling. So this relates to her book The Casual Vacancy, which is the first adult novel that she produced after her Harry Potter fame. She was paid somewhere between $2 million and $8 million as an advance for this particular book. Not very specific, this one. They get more specific as we go through, but there wasn't a lot of information to find out the exact number on that particular book deal. Coming in at number 9 was Life by Keith Richard. That was estimated at around 7.3 million, around about sort of 9 million by today's standards. And that deal happened in the year 2010. Next on the list, we have The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo by Amy Schumer, coming in at number 8 on this list. That came out in 2015. Around $9 million was paid for Amy Schumer. It did start with a chapter called An Open Letter to My Vagina. Quite a bold name for a title, and critics really liked this book, so they praised this collection of essays. However, it's not really clear if Simon & Schuster made their money back. Sales for the book were good, not particularly strong, and with that really high advance that was paid, it's, they may have broken even, but it's unlikely. Coming in at number 7 is The Downing Street Years and Path to Power by Margaret Thatcher. She was paid an estimated 9.2 million at the time, around about 11.3 now, for 2 books. So that covered 2 books. Originally, she had an offer from HarperCollins. Her son, funnily enough, thought she could get a higher offer. So Rupert Murdoch was the person who originally offered them, of course, the original owner of HarperCollins. They thought they could do better. Turns out they couldn't. They came back to HarperCollins, tail between their legs, and unfortunately ended up with a slightly lower offer than had been offered originally. Next we have Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. He was paid around $10 million in 2016, and this is actually thought to be the biggest advance ever paid for a musician's memoir. Maybe some current musicians, in the future, I'm sure will probably break this, but so far. And really it's all about Bruce Springsteen, revealing a lot about his true difficult relationships and a lot of personal items such as his battles with depression. It turned out he was a very good autobiographer, had some help along the way, I'm sure, from some ghostwriters to kind of neaten it up, but that proved to be a good investment. Coming in at number 5, we have Hard Choices by Hilary Clinton. She was paid $14 million for her book. This was in 2004. Publishers, I imagine, were hoping for some gossip, potentially around the loss to Obama in 2008. But really what they got was a memoir that a lot of people felt was just an advert for a 2016 presidency, for a Clinton presidency. And sales had dropped by 43% by the second week, so it's really unlikely the publishers actually made any money on that book. It's more than likely they overpaid to get that particular book deal. Next up, and coming in at number 4, is another Clinton. Of course, Bill Clinton. Again, I think what drove the price on this particular book was they were hoping, it was the publisher, were hoping for some good gossip about the incident that I'm sure we are all familiar with. They were not so lucky. Really all he said about it was immoral and foolish, and then he got back to the rest of the book, which was incredibly long. President Bush often mocked the book for its length. He was probably just a bit sour that he didn't get such a great book deal for his memoir. Bill Clinton was paid $15 million for his book in 2004. That's around $19 million today. Coming in at number 3 is Crossing the Threshold of Hope by Pope John Paul II. He was paid around $8.5 million in 1994, which is around $21 million today. This was not again, so they didn't do so well with Bill's book, but they did a lot better with Pope John Paul II's book. It's estimated that it sold 1 million copies in Italy alone, and of course continues to sell. So this one they really made their money on. This was worth paying that big advance for. Of course, it does beg the question what exactly the Pope would have spent all that money he was earning from the royalties. More hats, perhaps? No one's sure. Coming in at number 2, so taking the silver medal, is Ken Follett. So he was paid $50 million in 2008 for 3 books. That is an enormous amount of money. Penguin paid him $16.5 million for his Century trilogy. To give this context, Follett was already the author of a number of best-selling books. All of them just stank of Hollywood blockbuster potential. So really the play here was not only for the upcoming books that would inevitably sell well, but they were getting the rights to, sell the film rights and other intellectual property, which is where they were going to make a vast amount of money. Coming in at number 1 and taking the gold medal is James Patterson. So James was paid between $100 and $150 million in 2009. This actually was a bargain, to be honest. On average, Hachette, who is the publisher that paid for this advance, they are selling around 20 million books a year. So in 2 years alone, it's estimated he earned around $500 of 405 million pounds. So that was actually a bargain for Hachette. They're doing incredibly well out of that advance. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's something different. Let me know if you'd like more videos like this. As always, if you haven't done so already, please do give that like button a massive whack. It really helps more people see these videos. Go ahead and subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.